Hey guys, so in this video we want to show you how to install one of these handheld bidet sprayers on your toilet. So first let's have a look at the content that this box comes with. So we have here the sprayer itself, and then here there's a T-valve to get the water supply, and then here this holder for the sprayer head, and then here of course a stainless steel hose. And the only tool that we are using here is some channel locks and then a piece of paper towel. Okay, so first of all we have to turn off the water supply to our toilet. So we find this here usually on the lower left corner of the toilet. Here in this case here the valve handle is like broken off. So I'm going to use here some pliers to shut off the water supply by rotating it here clockwise all the way until it's shut. And then we're going to empty the toilet tank. So we're just holding the lever to flush out the water from the tank. When that's done, we're going to take a look here also here on right above the shut-off valve. There we have here this hose. This is like a flexible hose, so in case you have that already installed, then you're all set. You can continue. If you have like a pipe sitting here that's not flexible, bendable, then you should get one of these hoses. So now we can unscrew this from the tank on the tank side. This should be relatively easy. You may want to use your like a tool like your channel locks or your pliers if this connection is really tight, and then make sure that this seal here, this rubber seal, is still inside of here, didn't come out, or it's stuck here on this side. So make sure it's still by the hose. And then the bidet set here comes with this Teflon tape, so we can put a couple of rounds of that here around the thread. We don't really have to do that, I believe, because we have here a seal on the T-valve. You have to make sure that this seal is in place before we now screw on the T-valve here. You can make it first hand tight, but I do suggest use your pliers or your channel locks to tighten this just a little bit. So usually in my case here the thread of the tank here on the tank side is plastic, so you don't want to tighten this too much. And in order not to scratch here the nut, I'm going to wrap here the paper towel around the nut first before I use the channel locks to tighten this nut here, to tighten the connection. Sorry about my hand being in the way, it's just a little bit tight corner, so I don't really have the option to position the camera in any better way. So now we have still here the flexible pipe, the flexible hose to connect here on the bottom side of the T-valve, and we're also tightening this. I do suggest to hold on to the T-valve while you're tightening the hose down here. Just to not to put too much stress onto the plastic valve that goes to the tank. Let's make this really tight. And now at this point we can prepare the hose. Let's take this out of the bag. In this case here there's some plastic caps here, making sure there's no dirt or debris getting into the hose before we install it. So we have here two different ends, so make sure that both ends have one of these rubber seals, that none of the rubber seals fell off, so make sure they are still there. And you see one of the ends has here the hex nut, and the other one is like smooth. So the one with the hex nut, that's the one that goes towards the water tank, and then the round one, that is where we're going to screw on here the sprayer head. Just tightening this by hand, so we do have the rubber seal in there, so it's going to be just fine. And then here, the other end of the hose we're going to connect now to the T-valve. So you can hand tighten this if you have a firm grip, or just use your channel locks or pliers to tighten that. Okay, so now we still have the sprayer head holder. We can install this, for example, here right on the water tank. So we're going to take the lid off, and then we are just placing it right in here. You do see that there's quite a gap here. So the holder is a little bit too big for this tank, but it doesn't really matter. As soon as you put the lid back on, the holder is going to be just stuck in place. And then this is where we can place the sprayer when we're not using it. Okay, so now at this point we're going to open up the shut-off valve here again. So this will fill up the water tank of the toilet. And then here we have this little lever here. In this case, when the lever is pointing down, then the water supply to the sprayer, to our bidet sprayer, is turned off. And when it's sideways, then it is enabled and the water can flow. And you see here, now we can successfully use it. So if the water stream is too strong for you, then you can also like tighten that or close that valve just a little bit to make the water flow less aggressive. And yeah, that was already it for this video. Hope you found the information helpful. If you have any more questions or comments, then please leave a message below.